We go. Okay, I think we can see. Okay, here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim yasam jato jnayam udirayet nashta prayesa bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Okay, and before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Okay, so today we're reading text 11, 12, and 13, chapter 81, canto 10. And so I'll read the Sanskrit together, and then we'll do the English and the purport. Okay. Etavatalam vishvatman sarva sampat samredhaye asmin loka tavashmunin pumshastato shakaranam brahmanastam tu rajamin ushitva chutamandire bhukta pitva sukhamene atmanam sarva gatam yatha Svobhute vishvabhavena svasukena bhivandita jagama svalayam tata patiyana vrajya nandita. Okay, let me just organize some things here. Okay. So text 11, 12, and 13. Queen Rukmini said, "This is more than enough, O soul of the universe, to secure him an abundance of all kinds of wealth in this world and the next. After all, one's prosperity depends simply upon your satisfaction." Shukadev Goswami continued, "The Brahmana spent that night in Lord Achyuta's palace after eating and drinking to his full satisfaction. He felt as if he had gone to the spiritual world. The next day, Sudama set off for home while being honored by Lord Krishna, the self-satisfied maintainer of the universe. The Brahmana felt greatly delighted, my dear king, as he walked along the road." There's a purport here. We are here reminded that Lord Krishna maintains the supply of desirable objects for the whole universe. Therefore, it is to be understood that he was about to manifest for Sudama opulence greater than Indra's. Being Swasukha, perfectly complete in his own bliss, the Lord has an unlimited capacity for bestowing gifts. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the word Abhivandita indicates that Sri Krishna accompanied Sudama on the road for a short distance and finally parted with the Brahmana after bowing down to him and speaking some respectful words. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So where this is in this chapter, well, it's very exciting. So It starts off, at least these verses start off where Queen Rukmini has stopped Lord Krishna from eating any more of the rice. And yesterday we heard from Brahmatirtha Prabhu, the prior verse where she said, well, if you keep giving this away, then there won't be any for anybody else. But she had this look as if, don't let him eat more of this because it's not going to be good for his stomach. And objectively, it's understood that this broken rice was not the best thing to offer. It's not the best thing to eat. It's not the most digestible. However, we can see that even though Sudama Brahmana offered something that we could describe as mediocre, um, this is not how Lord Krishna received it. He didn't receive it. He didn't, even that one handful that he took, he didn't receive that as mediocre. As a matter of fact, Queen Rukmini is telling him that's enough because he was going for a second handful. And so this is very interesting. The love that his friend was giving him was not mediocre. This is why Krishna was accepting this. He could have eaten anything else at that moment. And so I think that's an important point that he receives not so much the object or is not so much worried about the quality of what we offer in the sense that what's important is the quality of the offering that's made in love, in with friendship, with respect, with whatever our relationship is. And so if we think about our relationships and the people that we love, wouldn't we give them absolutely everything that we could give them? If we had everything that we had, we would give to them. Um, if you have children, you want to give them everything. I remember, it's very common for your parents to just give you the last of something or your favorite thing or whatever it is. And it's not just food, it's any type of material possessions that you think you want to express some affection or you want to support or you want to protect. And so this is very natural that whatever you have, you want to give. You want to give to those that you love. And if you have more, you will give more. And this is Krishna's mood. And Krishna has a lot. And he actually has everything. And therefore he can give a lot. And this verse, the purport that's stating that he's about to give a lot. This is what is understood because he has so much love and affection for Sudama Brahmana, but also because he has a lot. In the same principle, if I have a lot, why, of course, naturally, I want to share it with those that I love. But let's go a little bit more into what's being said. So here, I found it very interesting. This first verse, text 11, Queen Rukmini says, "This is more than enough, O soul of the universe, to secure him an abundance of all kinds of wealth in this world and the next. After all, one's prosperity depends simply on your satisfaction." And the preceding verse, where she's stating, "Please don't oblige me to this Brahmana," and this is a pure devotee, he's a Brahmana who is very, very close friends with Krishna. And she's saying, don't oblige me to him. So what do these things mean? How is it that the goddess of fortune becomes obliged to people? And so it was explained in the purport prior to this that when Vishnu is fed sumptuously, she's obliged to come and reside in that home, and then there is opulence. And so there's a question that comes up of, well, sometimes there are people who don't aren't feeding Vishnu, and there is wealth and opulence in the house. And so how are we to understand this? If the goddess of fortune is obliged to inhabit the home of someone who satisfies Krishna, then how do non-pious people acquire a lot of wealth? If she's obliged to go where Vishnu is fed, but there are objectively people who have a lot of wealth who are perhaps atheists. How do we understand that? And so we may not understand how we got to where we are with our current relationship to wealth, and nor does it matter. And what other people have or don't have and how they got it is really none of our business. And so the underlying principle of that is that there's perhaps it's understood that through the process of karma, there's some cause and effect. And we've participated in that cycle of cause and effect. And now, whether we're aware of it or fully aware of it or not, here's the situation. And this is how we are interacting with the material energy. And so, how did we get here? We don't know. We can't really understand what has gone on in the countless lifetimes that we've had before, and perhaps that's a mercy that we don't understand. Just one point about that, when if sometimes we've made a mistake in life, it's really, and we feel some remorse, some guilt, or whatever the emotions that come up, it's very difficult to overcome. And that's just perhaps one mistake in one lifetime. Imagine all the mistakes and all the lifetimes that we've made, all the times that we've hurt people, have hurt ourselves, have turned away from Krishna. It's a lot. And so perhaps it's a mercy that we don't remember what this is. But what can we do? We can focus on now, on today, on how am I aware of how I am engaging with the material energy and how I am pleasing the Lord. One thing is, yes, now we're aware we offer our food, we have different kinds of offerings, and we're developing, trying to remember that relationship that we have with the divine. But we may not have always been aware of it, as we can understand by the fact that we can't remember how we got to where we are, what our current situation is. And sometimes we can go into our consciousness and observe our propensities, our just how we are, and we can understand very clearly how we got to where we are, because those things are samskaras. They run deep in our consciousness, and so we can understand if we're just very diligent about trying to understand our own consciousness, our own habits, our own propensities, our own desires, and very honestly. So in a sense, we can understand, although we may not remember. And so why are we talking about material energy? When we're discussing, which is what's being brought up in this verse, when we're discussing things like food, clothing, I think when Murli Gopal Prabhu gave the class, he spoke about the ripped and old bag that the rice was in. We're talking about poverty and having enough to eat. All these things are the material energy. So this is about our survival in this material world, our material survival. That's what's being talked about. And also in Srila Prabhupada explains to us that the material energy is coming from the divine goddess, right? He says it in many different purports throughout the books. He's saying the material energy refers to as Maya, as Durga. So and he says they are the representations of this energy. And so we understand that to be the divine feminine, the source of all the goddesses is what? Radha Krishna. And so the goddess of fortune is also the same person, although albeit in a different form. And so this is why what the connection is. And so the material energy and how we engage with it, when we have fortune, when the goddess of fortune comes, that manifests in a specific way. The opulence manifests in a material way, not only, but that's how we understand it. And so what is my relationship with that nature, with that material nature? So what is the dynamic? One of the ways in which we engage with material nature is through lust. Lust is our biggest enemy, and so we want things, right? We want things or some material sense enjoyment, or some situation. It's all material. So there's a lot of talk now about a lot of awareness about how our attention is being exploited and engaged in a way that's being monetized by people. I saw an article and I couldn't find it. I couldn't remember where I saw it, but they were trying to put a dollar amount on our attention. So I think it was something like 5,000 something dollars. I don't remember if it was per day or per week. And then it's not certain. These are suggestions. I'm not sure how they would monetize our attention, but I'm sure they can come close to at least making an educated guess. And so this is what our attention is worth to other people. And so we can say, yes, it's this industry or that person or this thing that is trying to take our attention and profit from it. But is it really just our attention, or is it that they're profiting from our lust? They know, there's a lot of psychological work that's done behind these industries that sort of tries to understand how we respond, how we react, and how we act, and they use that to their advantage. And so, is it just our lust that they are exploiting? It's not just our attention, because if we didn't lust for something, if we didn't want something, if I didn't think, oh, this thing's going to make me happy, this thing will satisfy me, um, I need this thing to be okay, whatever the situation is, if we didn't have that condition, then no one could monetize or victimize or exploit my attention. And so it comes down to lust. Okay, so that's the Prabhupada says lust is or Krishna says, our lust is our biggest enemy. And so now what? So there's a bit of good news here. The good news is that lust is our love for God transformed. So we have love of God, it comes into contact. We have full love of Krishna, full realization. It comes into contact with the material energies, specifically Rajaguna, and it becomes lust. And so it's now we're in this situation where we think, no, it's this thing that I want, it's that thing, it's that situation. But ultimately, what it really is our love of God. And so that's the good news. And so, and who says this? Krishna says. He says in Bhagavad Gita 337, it is only lust, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Okay, so now we can understand what's happening. Next time we have that urge to sort of engage with something like, okay, what am I giving my attention to? Because even though someone may be profiting from my attention, from this desire of this thing or that thing, um, it's costing me. And so that's I think that's a really important point to understand, how much is this costing me? I read somewhere a question about this, that whatever we're engaging in, whatever we're engaging our actions, our senses in, if you had to pay $20 an hour to do whatever you're doing, would you do it? And I think, it's hard to monetize these things, and it's hard to understand, but there are some things that we pay for. Sometimes we pay for subscription to this, to read that, or read the other. If you had to pay a subscription to read the Bhagavatam, would you do it? Yeah, probably. So that gives me, I would definitely do it. I'd have a subscription to the Srimad Bhagavatam, to the Bhagavad Gita, if that was the only way that I can read it. So that gives me an indication that this is something worth my time. If I'm doing something and I would say I would never pay anyone to do this, then why am I doing it? It's just yeah, it's just something to consider about what our time is worth. And so our lust becoming our enemy, because it's such a powerful, yeah, where attention goes, energy flows. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Um, because our love of God is everything, once it comes in contact with the material nature, now it becomes this all-consuming lust. And so what do we do about it? What is the practice of it's different for each of us. So what is the practice when we say, how do I engage with material nature? And what is my relationship to it? And it all goes back to attention. Just checking the time. So what am I giving my attention to? I can choose, and this is the wonderful part about where we are now. We can choose. So we choose Guru Sadhu Shastra. We choose following instructions in the healthiest way possible. And we all know what our instructions are. We have instructions that are general for everyone, and then we all know what we're working on, what Super Soul in our heart is giving us as instruction, and we can engage with that in a day-to-day basis. Having positive association, um, and continuing to learn, to hear, to chant, so that we can bring our attention to the appropriate place. And so what is our prayer? What can be our prayer? Dear Krishna, thank you for all these beautiful thoughts that you bring us through your pastimes, and may we inspire each other to keep our attention on you, on our relationship with you, and inspire each other in knowing, learning how to please you, how to engage with you. And then everything else will follow. If we put the first thing first, then everything else comes after. We can't get a second thing, without having the first thing first. So first thing first, and then we're fully satisfied. So Krishna is fully satisfied. And with just one little bit of satisfaction that he has, he can give unlimited blessings. Um, and it's out of love. It's said it's out of love because he's our friend. And in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna starts off saying, because you are dear to me, because you are loved, I'm going to share these things with you because I care about what happens with you. And then later in the 18th chapter, he says, I'm telling you all of these things. I'm giving you the most secret, most confidential knowledge because you're a dear friend to me. And we can understand. And then the last thing I wanted to mention about that relationship in this pastime is the text on the text 13, the purport that describes that Krishna walks Sudama Brahmana, he walks him a little bit a ways, he walks with him, and then he offers some respectful words, he offers some kind words, and then he lets him go on his way. And what is that an indication of? Why is that this element being brought up in the past time? Why is it being narrated? And why is it being commented on by the acharyas? It's because it shows that friendship. I mean, think about it. When your friend comes to visit you, you spend so much time with them, don't want them to leave, and then, okay, inevitably they must leave. And what do? You walk them out the door, perhaps you walk them to the car. If they're walking, maybe they're taking a train, you walk them to the train station. And then you may give them a hug and tell them how much you appreciate them. It's all friendship. They're friends. And so that relationship is something important to pay attention to because we have that relationship with Krishna. And he's just waiting. Just like he has unlimited things to give, he has unlimited friendship. He can be my best friend and the best friend of every single person here and still have enough to give, right? That's not our situation. I'm limited. I can only answer certain number of messages a day. I can only respond to certain number of emails. I can only have certain number of meetings or get-togethers or tea dates, whatever it is. But he's not limited in that way. And so let's take advantage of that. Let's go deeply into that relationship and see how can I please him. It doesn't have to be something very opulent, very big. It can be the smallest thing because what matters is the quality of the love that we're exchanging with. And so I will leave it there. Any questions, comments, concerns, worries, corrections?
Lila, Devi, Dasi, thank you very much. Wonderful class. A question, a burning question. Krishna is unlimited. He's never confused. He's always happy, and his happiness is ever increasing. And we are of the same nature as Krishna. So, why did Krishna create us limited, confused, lusty? Why was there a need to create someone like that? Why couldn't he create us unlimited, happy, blissful, equal to him? In other words, why is Krishna unlimited and I'm so limited and lusty and confused and crazy? Why
It's
couldn't Krishna?
feeling,
Did Krishna botch me or something? Fail me?
yeah, he won third place in the what do you call it? If there was a, I'm sorry, I can't think of the word. If there was a
Pottery,
contest. Yeah, if
pottery
there was a
competition.
contest, yeah, there was a contest. He
Yeah.
won third place with us. No, it's not that. He did create us like that. We are, and and of course that's another conversation. We never are created. We just are, just like he is. But we are like that. However, it's all our free will, and that is the biggest expression of love, that he respects our free will. We want to do things, we want to explore, we get curious. Oh, it's over there in that fourth class planet in that universe, and think about it. Even in our relationships, the biggest expression of love is this freedom to just let people be who they are, to let them do what they will do, of course, within reason, and respecting the relationship, with your kids. You want to protect them and there's rules and you want to keep them safe, but to just let them be who they are, that's an expression of love with anyone. And so he doesn't control us. Of course, in any moment, with a blink of an eye or even less than that, we can all be whatever he wants us to be. But he allows us to go and explore and figure it out for ourselves. You want to go explore over there? Okay, great. I'll just put up some fences so that you don't fall off the edge of the universe and you don't hurt yourself. And good thing our powers are limited, because can be so ignorant in any moment. And imagine I had like more capacity I would just get myself into trouble. So for today, I'm glad that I'm limited in that way, because am I responsible enough to know what to do with more? Probably not. So my understanding, it's just our free will, and we are created in we are in his image, in his likeness, beta beta, same and different. We're just misusing it. And this is the good news about our lust, about the things that, that pull my attention here. I need this, I need that. The other day I was like this mental thing, like I really need a new planner. It's a new year, like just things, I need this thing. Um, but I can think, oh, this isn't really what I want. What I really want is Krishna. This is just flipped upside down, right? The reflection. Uh, that's really what's going on, because ultimately we've experienced this. Whatever we get doesn't fill the void. Only Krishna does. So, yeah, it's up to us. We can do it. We can do it.
Thank you,
Bhima
Lila.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, where are you? Come back.
God made Bhima perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
No, 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 no. I'm the piece that fell off the side of the lathe and busted into a million. In fact, I wasn't even fired. This lifetime, I'm getting fired. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Anyways,
kiln.
kiln. Yes, I'm in the kiln. Damn, this is an adventure. This is the big thing. One thing about Lila, especially some of the Lila we haven't heard, the more epic Lila, like Kali herself at war, in Krishna's universe at some given time, um, you know, or Tulsi Maharani's story, these grand adventures, and we're kind of a part of it, like sort of the parts of the mountaintop that followed Hanuman when he leapt. We're caught up in this huge Lila, this as thus your name, and such a wonderful class. I feel like I've gone to college and taken in 4 years worth of information in, what is it, 45 minutes here. And what makes it sweet, like no other knowledge that we get, Lila, with you, is that it's so full of love. And this adventure that we're on, it is all about free will. Even as somebody who knows, at least tries to understand a little bit of the philosophy, you start to come, and this is the important part, to introspect and to be more contemplative about, what we're going through here. And then we understand that Krishna is allowing us to do whatever we will within parameters to protect us, like a toddler. And that ultimately it's up to our desire, and desire only. And it's desire only that gets us back into Krishna's good graces. So thank you very much for instilling this wonderful feeling to want to reciprocate. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Wonderful. I appreciate that sharing so much. Yeah, something that you said reminded me of this idea that with great power comes great responsibility. And also, to whom much is given, much is expected. We are very much responsible for what we do in this world and how we engage with material nature. And we understand from the Shastra that it's the material nature it's coming from Radha Krishna. It's just the divine feminine. We call out to her as Hare. And so that's just the one part of it. How do we engage with that? What do we do? How do we take care of our possessions, our homes, this earth, the water, everything? Are we aware of this? And so, yes, we don't want to, be hyper focused on these things. But it is, if everyone paid a little bit of attention and understood that these energies are not ours to exploit, they are ours to care for. If everyone just gave a little bit more attention to that, things might be different. But we can only clean up our side of the street. And so it's not up to me to worry about what everybody else is doing in one sense. All I can say was, well, how am I engaging with this energy? What's my relationship to it? How, especially when it comes to desire and lust, seeking this thing, that thing, wanting this, the mind getting attached to different things. Yeah, it's a huge responsibility, and I think once we realize it, yeah, and we can start to make changes and make different choices, and they're all love-based. We're given a lot out of love, and we're just meant to give a lot back out of love, in that eternal relationship. Any other comments, questions?
Samparun?
Hare Krishna, Lila,
Jamuna
thank you so
Jaya.
much for
Krishna.
classes. Jamuna Jaya.
Oh, Jamuna Jaya!
Hello, love. Such a beautiful class.
Krishna!
I'm just reflecting from what you said during class and then these last two reflections of the great love that Krishna does have for us in giving us that free will. When you think about how much love that takes to let us run free, that takes a heart, because that is really where he shows the love. He doesn't try to bind us. He doesn't try to trick us. Like to the last, to the last 18 chapter. I've told you what it is. Now choose as you do. A couple days ago, someone said about how Sudama has inner opulence and maybe not outer opulence. And I've really been meditating on that. And that's really our inner opulence, that Krishna loves us so much that he's like, you do you, and I'm just going to wait here until finally you turn and look at me. So just thank you for reminding us of that. And that the good news is that we have that love. We're just using it in the wrong way, in a lustful way. And we actually have it. And it's sort of like a kid that doesn't know how to use scissors. And he's giving us the time to figure out, put your fingers in there and go this way. So thank you. So encouraging, so inspiring. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Jamuna Jaya. Yeah, that's so true in all our relationships. You know, if people, even our best ones, if people didn't pay us attention or, you know, hang out with us sometimes or something, I wonder, I think our patience would probably run thin after some time. But Krishna's not like that. And this is part of what's in in these verses, in one of the verses, swasukena, self-satisfied. Because he doesn't need anything, he can just wait. He's fully satisfied. If we take millions and millions of years to figure it out and millions of lifetimes or however long, he's okay. He's just fine. And that doesn't mean, I mean, we're the ones that, you know, are separated from our friends, so we don't want to just, you know, take the scenic route for much longer. Um, but because he's so self-satisfied, he doesn't have to force us to do anything. He doesn't have to cajole us. He doesn't have to say, okay, well, maybe if I give you this, I know you like this. And so then maybe you'll be my friend. No, we can trust him. You think about it. We can have the most trust for someone who doesn't need anything from us. You know, this world is we get suspicious. So what does this person want from me? What does this person need from me? Is it just that it's in their self-interest? You know, to have my attention or this or that, like the companies that we spoke about that take our attention. So we're kind of always on edge, a little bit on the lookout, you know. Being in New York City, we just have a certain way of responding and a certain dynamic with other people. When you leave New York City, even when people say hello to you and they say good morning, you're like, whoa, I don't have anything. You know, don't ask me for anything. So we've become, you know, sort of jaded in that way. With Krishna, he doesn't need anything. So any engagement, any relationship, it's just out of love. We can trust that. We can rest easy that he's not trying to exploit me because he has everything. There's nothing to exploit here. I have nothing compared to him. We have nothing compared to the goddess of fortune. I mean, that's who he rolls with, right? He hangs out with the goddess of fortune. He hangs out with Sudama Brahmana, like who he loves dearly. And think about all the people that he can and does hang out with. Why would he hang out with us? It's just because he loves us. And that's it. And so we can trust that. And that sometimes that's one of the most difficult things to trust. Is that real? Am I really loved like that to that degree?
Vima Prabhu says that's who he rolls with. Thank you, Vima.
Okay, we have 5 minutes. Any other
Temple,
comments?
temple room is dying to glorify Krishna.
Adi Purusha, yes, I see. I'm in expectation.
Hare Krishna. We're praying to Srila Prabhupada what to say. Srila Prabhupada puts it very simply. We are by nature, you've said it all. It's hard to contribute anything, but just reflecting what you've said. That the subject matter is that we are loving beings and how to come to that stage and what's that like. And Prabhupada puts it like this: I love you for you, not for what I'm getting from you. And that's an amazing thing that somebody could show us what it's like to be on that platform and how Krishna is on that platform and how we can actually come to that platform also. The devotional service, the lotus feet of the spiritual master, is our process of reawakening our dormant love for Krishna. And probably one other thing Rupa Goswami says is, if we do reawaken our love for Krishna, then our genuine affection for everyone will be simultaneously reawakened. And in this world where people are eating each other alive and exploiting each other in different ways, and even in the marriage, they have these prenup. I'm going to give this, and I expect that. If I don't get that, I'm not going to give this. You know, it's like hilariously disgusting. But there's another. Parastas matu bhavanyo. There's another world. There's another quality of life. It's available, and we can get there and get back there where we really belong. Anyway, you said it all very nicely already. I'm just repeating. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, who loves us.
Hi, thank you. I appreciate. Yes, that's a wonderful reminder. Yeah, and Krishna, yeah, especially what you mentioned about our affection for everyone. If we, and Krishna says, he says, for those who see me everywhere, I am not lost to them and they are not lost to me. And when we really see that everything, they're all his energies, we see that very, if we see it very clearly, if we remind ourselves, if we let others remind us, because we have affection for him. It just naturally we have affection for everything, and naturally we take care of those things that we have affection for. And so he's very clear, just see me everywhere. Know that I'm everywhere. Know that I'm the source of absolutely everything. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, this is this trust to know that we are loved just as we are. Come as you are. There's nothing else that you need to do. And that's probably a hard pill to swallow. I am so imperfect, and yet I am still so loved. And I can stop this, all these strategies for self-betterment and this and that. And if I get this, and if I learn that, and if I change that thing, yeah, of course we're growing and we're trying to be in the mode of goodness. But we can put the angst down, that anxious feeling of I'm not enough. Actually, we are enough. And any little offering like is being shown in this pastime, any offering given with full love is more than enough, and he'll reciprocate accordingly. It's big stuff, and Prabhupada says so simple we can miss it. So simple. I miss it all the time. Every day I forget. Except when I come here. Okay. Yes, Krishna loves it. This is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Everything is okay. That is the good news of this Tuesday morning. Krishna loves us. Everything is absolutely okay. We're good. And, as far as wealth, let's see what time. Okay, we have 1 minute left. As far as wealth, this is to be considered true wealth, the association of devotees, the people who bring us the reminders of the absolute truth of the everything that is out there. If this isn't wealth, then I don't know what is. But this is it, having the Bhagavad Gita, having these thoughts that come up when we read, having the Bhagavatam, discussing it with each other. We have a lot. We have a lot. And I hope that, thank you so much for reminding me. Thank you for being here so that we can discuss these things and just.
Are you coming back after the darshan? Are you going to leave us? Are you going to abandon us after the darshan?
I will never leave you, but yeah, I'll come back.
I've heard that promise before from
Just,
Krishna.
just to increase your longing for devotee association.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ananda B looks like a Russian spy.
What?
Look at, he's a Russian spy.
Is it the hair?
In the Great North. No,
I ran out of gel.
It's the turtleneck and it's it's the turtleneck and the handsomeness. Definitely like in a movie.
Gosh.
It's all a big adventure, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Okay, we have a hand up, but I think it's time for darshan. But we can
Time to be
discuss
seen by the Lord.
after. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
everybody
wanting to be
increase your
seen.
handsomeness and be seen by the Lord. Jani Prabhu, please unmute. Yes.
Govinda Hari Krishna Govinda Hari Aham Bhajami Bhavasam Samasitam Buddha Sundaram Nandavato Siddhamaniya Vishishtadoma Govinda Hari Krishna Govinda Hari Krishna Govinda Hari Krishna Attachment to those feet is perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my dark eyes, fills my heart with treasure and knowledge. Birth after birth, in ecstatic grandeur. Sing our spiritual master. Oh, Master, merciful, associated with those feet. We take shelter.
Srila Prabhupada. Jai Arjuna Prabhu.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Janitai Prabhu,
Jai
signing
Shri
off here.
Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
All right, welcome to the Afterglow, dear devotees. Bhima Prabhu, you had something to say on the Afterglow?
No, I've said it all. Nothing more needs to be said. As long as I get the last word.
Okay, yeah. I had a great thought. What's that vegetable in India? They put it in every dish and it enhances the flavor of the dish, no matter where you put it. Does anyone know? I don't know. I forget the name. It looks like potato, but it's not. They put it in every dish and it enhances the flavor. So anyway, the analogy is that a Vaishnava will enter any situation and make it better by their presence, by showing people that Krishna loves them. And anyone can do that, right? We can enter a situation and make it stink, but by criticizing, by complaining, by worrying and freaking out. But we can also enter any situation gracefully and improve it with our presence, right? Isn't that a cool thing to
You're
do?
calling us all vegetables?
Yeah. It's somewhere in the Shastra, it says that a Vaishnava is like salt. You put the salt in every dish, it's not seen, but it enhances the flavor. So that's a Vaishnava, humbly serving everybody, showing them that Krishna loves them. Right? But just to add to Lila Devi's wonderful elaboration on the nature of love between Krishna and Jiva. Thank you, Lila Devi Dasi. Okay, William Prabhu, very brief. William. Are you William? Okay. You put that in the chat? Hold on. No. Oh, by the way, Jeffrey Eckler put something in the chat. Jeffrey Eckler, Prabhu, do you have anything you'd like to share in this regard? Who's Ivanita and Nanvati?
Hare Krishna. I have two colleagues that are going through tough times. Both of their mothers are in bad ways. Physically, Ivaneta is a colleague of mine's mother, passed away last week, and Nanwati is now in end-of-life care and has not eaten for 2.5 weeks. So I just ask that everyone keep their names in their prayers as they meet or prepare to meet our Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jeffrey Prabhu. We will. Let's all pray for them nicely, sincerely. Is dedicating a round of japa a bona fide way to help the soul? Lila Devi Dasi? Is that scientific?
Can't hurt, might help.
Yeah, thank you.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if we chant even one mantra well and satisfy Krishna, then the whole world's satisfied. So yeah, let's go for it.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, Lila, you can summarize the class, concluding remarks, punchlines, please.
I can summarize it.
Are you Lila? Are you Lila? Hold on.
No,
Are you Lila Devi?
Go for it, Bhima. Yes, please summarize.
If I was Krishna, I'd want to roll with Lila. I'd want to hang out with Lila because you really bolster the faith. Thank you very much for your class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are more than enough. I think that's the summary.
Yeah, some devotees are more than enough, right? Bhima Prabhu. Everybody is enough, and Bhima Prabhu is more than enough. Okay, Karen, bring Isaiah on. Let's hear the mantra. Isaiah is our finisher.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to say before he finishes his mantra that we're going to be traveling today to Switzerland. So I just wanted to, yeah, and I thank you so much for class and for all of your association. And I do plan to tune in at lunchtime over there, but in the next couple months, I don't know, we might be in India in January. So we'll be thinking of all of you on our travels. Hare Krishna.
Safe travels.
Thank you, Isaiah. Yeah. Nothing can hold you back, even food in your mouth. You can still chant Hare Krishna. Yeah. T-shirt, more than enough. Yes, wonderful T-shirt. Idea. Thank you, Bima Prabhu. You're the
Brilliant.
fountainhead of creativity in service of the Lord. Thank you, Lila Devi. That's a wonderful class. Thank you, everyone on this call, for your association. Please do not disappear. We love you. We need you. It doesn't matter what time zone are you in. You are in. Please do not disappear. Hare Krishna. Nice seeing everybody.
Hare
William,
Krishna.